sometimes weird stuff we barely understand today. So why all this ritual madness? Well, it all comes down to a concept the Egyptians called Mawat. Mawat wasn't a person, although it sounds like one. She was the goddess of truth, balance, order, and harmony. Basically, Marot was the original keep life in order or else energy. If the world got chaotic, floods, disease, or crops failing, it was because Marot was upset. And if Marot was upset, guess who had to fix it? Yep, the people, and mostly the pharaoh. Speaking of the pharaoh, let's pause here. Pharaohs weren't just kings. Nope, they were living gods on earth, which sounds cool, until you realize that comes with a lot of ritual pressure. Every move they made, every word they spoke, had to keep Mart happy. Dressing up in the morning, a ritual, eating breakfast. Also a ritual, going to war. Ritual, even deciding what flavor of dessert to have. But it wasn't just the pharaoh. Every Egyptian, from the richest noble to the farmer in the dusty fields, had rituals baked into daily life. Sounds simple, but in their mind it was vital. Missing one small ritual could lead to misfortune. Now, rituals weren't all about work and responsibility. Many were celebrations, festivals, and big, loud events that made life feel magical. Ancient Egyptians loved to party for the gods. They had feasts, music, dancing, and sometimes, let's just say, some strange costumes. But even these fun rituals weren't just for fun. They kept the cosmic balance in check. In their eyes, the gods had to be entertained, or bad luck would sneak in while everyone was dancing and eating too much honey cake. And speaking of the gods, oh boy, the Egyptians had a lot of them, like an insane amount. There was Ra, the sun god, who rode his sunboat across the sky every day. There was Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification and the afterlife. Hathor, goddess of love and music. Sobek, crocodile god of, well, crocodiles and the Nile. The list goes on, and each god had their own rituals, their own offerings, and their own personality quirks. Forget remembering birthdays. Imagine trying to keep track of rituals for dozens of gods every single day. But here's where it gets really interesting. Not all rituals were obvious. Some were secret, hidden, or downright strange by today's standards. Some involved symbolic acts, mysterious chants, or objects we barely understand. Some rituals were meant to scare off evil spirits, others to guide souls safely to the afterlife, and some were just weird enough to make you scratch your head and wonder, did they really do that? And that, my friend, is exactly what we're here to explore. In this video, we're going to take a calm, quiet journey through the strange, fascinating rituals of ancient Egypt that most people have never heard of. From the way they started their mornings, to the way they prepared for death, from everyday spells to secret ceremonies, we'll uncover the rituals that made ancient Egyptian life so mesmerizing and, yes, sometimes hilarious to think about in hindsight. You might be imagining grand temples, massive statues, or pharaohs wearing gold masks, and you'd be right. But the beauty of these rituals often lies in the small details. A whispered prayer, a tiny offering, the careful alignment of a tomb, these are the little things that connected the Egyptians to the divine, the cosmos, and each other. And don't worry, we'll keep it relaxed. No long, boring lists of facts. Just a calm, story-like journey through a world that's so strange, so magical, and so human that it feels like stepping into a dream. A dream where gods walk among people, where crocodiles are worshipped, and where the line between life and afterlife is thin and shimmering. So, grab a comfy pillow, maybe a cup of something warm, and let's float down the Nile together. In the next chapters, we'll see how a pharaoh started his day, how ordinary people used rituals to stay safe, and how the Egyptians made sure their souls were ready for the mysterious journey that comes after death. And trust me, some of these rituals will make you giggle, some will make you gasp, and they'll make you wonder if Imagine waking up in ancient Egypt. The sun hasn't fully risen yet, but the golden light is slowly spilling over the Nile. The air smells of fresh mud, river reeds, and maybe a hint of baked bread from the neighbor's oven. Birds are chirping, and somewhere in the distance, a goat is, probably doing goat things. Life is simple, but in ancient Egypt, even simple life had a rhythm, a ritual rhythm. For most Egyptians, the day started not with coffee, but with a little spiritual check-in. Before you even thought about breakfast, you might wash your hands and face in cool river water or a small basin. But here's the twist. This wasn't just about hygiene. No, it was a ritual to cleanse your body and spirit, kind of like hitting the reset button before stepping into the chaos of the day. And the gods, they were watching. Well, not literally, but your household gods certainly were, in the form of small statues or wall paintings. Missing this ritual, bad luck could sneak in like a cat stealing your fish. Once you were clean, it was time for a tiny offering. Now, this wasn't some giant ceremony with drums and incense. Usually, it was a small loaf of bread, some beer, or even a few grains of wheat left in a bowl, or on a little altar. Think of it as ancient Egypt's version of Good Morning Universe. I've got snacks for you. The idea was simple. Feed the gods a little so they defeed you back with health, protection, and a good harvest.